All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to yoga. I'm Trish. We're going to do a nice little slow flow this morning. Maybe grab some blocks as well for our heart melting pose. And if you like, put some of your nice favorite relaxing music on the background. And let's get into it. So let's get started this morning with child's pose. So we're going to come up towards the back of our mat, bringing the big toes together. Your knees can be together out wide. And then from here, just bring your hands forwards and then hands shoulder width are a little bit wider apart. Gently start to walk the hands forwards, resting the forehead onto the mat. And then just melting the belly onto the thighs. From here, just soften the elbows so everything is nice and relaxed. And taking a couple of nice deep grounding breaths here into the body. As you inhale, expanding out across the back. As you exhale, just starting to soften through the hips, softening through the belly and the chest, allowing the weight of your torso to melt down onto your thighs. Deep, expansive inhalations, breathing into the back of the body, centering, grounding. And as you exhale, just melting down, letting go of any tension. Taking a moment here just to center ourselves, our bodies before we start our practice. Softening the face as you feel the forehead on the mat. Maybe just gently turning the head from side to side, like you're saying no. Giving yourself a nice little massage through the forehead. Take a couple more nice, deep, centering, calming breaths here. And then when you're ready, let's just gently lift up through the head and heart. Pushing back into your left hip, walk your hands across to the right. Inhale. As you exhale, just gently melting down, getting a nice stretch across the back. Push back into that left hip. So I'm mirroring the cues this morning. So the opposite side that I'll be doing to you. If you want a bit more, take your front hand, hold onto your back wrist. And then from here, let's release, coming back through center. Take a couple of breaths in the middle. We're just swaying the hips from side to side. Check in with the body. Notice how you feel on one side compared to the other. And then lengthen up through the spine. Hug the belly in. Push back into the right hip this time. Walking the hands across to the left. And then just melting down. Again, if you want a little bit more, take the front hand. Walking it around to hold onto the back wrist. And then gently coming back through center. Take another breath or two here. And then when you're ready, let's start to roll the tailbone under, rounding yourself forwards, come up into tabletop. Stack your wrist underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and keeping the core active so that we're not hanging from our hips and shoulders. Let's come into a couple of cat cows. So starting with the toes untouched, lengthening from the base of the spine to the crown of the head as we inhale. As we exhale, start to roll the tailbone under, belly hugs to the spine, lifting through the belly and the chest, rolling the chin in towards the throat, and pointing the crown of the head towards the mat. So we're opening up through the back of the body. And then as we inhale, starting to widen the hips and collarbones, belly hugs into the spine as we drop the belly and reaching the heart forwards in between the shoulders. Starting to lengthen up through the neck and throat and drawing your chin and your eye gaze to the sky if the neck allows. So moving with the breath. Just opening up through the front and the back of the body, going a little bit deeper with each breath. And then maybe starting to flatten your shins and tops of your feet into the mat. Getting that nice stretch out through the tops of the feet. And then from here, come back into neutral, tuck your toes under, walk your feet in so you feel a nice stretch out through the arches of the feet. And let's do a couple more cat-cows. So keeping the hip crease nice and wide, keeping the collarbones wide. As you inhale and arch by tucking our toes under, we might go that, feel a little bit of a deeper stretch here. Keep reaching the heart in between the gateway of the shoulders, belly stays hugging into the spine. As you exhaling around, keep the hips active so your knees are rolling away from each other. Let's do a couple more here. And come back into neutral. From here, option one is just to keep one knee on the floor, and then you can just extend one foot back and then come back in and then do the other foot. Otherwise, maybe from here, tuck your toes under and then slide the hips up and stretch yourself out in down dog. So we should feel a really nice stretch out across the back, keeping the weight pushing back into the hips. Maybe a gentle turn or shake of the head from side to side, maybe nodding it up and down. Stretching out across the back. Maybe walking out through the legs and just ironing out any little kinks in the body. Keep the belly drawing in towards the spine and keeping the weight pushing back into the hips. All right, let's come through knees, chest, and chin. So come up onto your toes, roll your tailbone under, round yourself into plank, and then bring your knees back down. From here, arch your spine, bring your chest down, and then slide yourself through, coming into Sphinx to start. So bringing your elbows underneath the shoulders, 10 toenails on the ground. Let's inhale, lengthen up through the midline of the body, lifting up through the insides of your legs, pelvic floor lifts. Keep the belly hugging in as we start to reach the heart forwards. As you exhale, widening your hips and shoulders, collarbones, slide the shoulders back down away from the ears and squeezing through the backs of your shoulder blades to charge the heart forwards. Engage that transverse abdominis, that TVA band from hip to hip, where your undies sit, rolling that back towards the bum. So we're feeling lots of space through the lower back. Maybe grounding back into your elbows and then drawing the elbows into the earth. Feel like you're pulling the elbows back towards the hips as you keep drawing your heart forwards in between the shoulders. Breathing into the heart here. Make sure there's no pinching in the lower back. As you exhale, keep squeezing the backs of the shoulders. Let's take 2 more breaths here. He's joining us. Good morning, Catherine. Joining us in Sphinx. And then when you're ready, coming back in, bring the hands underneath the shoulders and then roll yourself back into child's pose or down dog. Let's take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Keep widening out across the hips and then stretching out across the back. Keep the belly hugging in towards the spine, drawing the lower ribs back up towards the hips. One more breath here, and then when you're ready, let's come forward. Let's now come into heart melting pose. So untuck your toes, come back into tabletop, grounding into your knees, keeping the hips stacked over the knees. We're going to start to walk the hands forward, melting the belly onto your thighs. You're going to grab your block now, and then we're going to hold the block in its longer end with the heels of your hands pushing into the block. So that's going to give you a little bit of resistance. Bring the forehead down and then bring the hands back up. So you're grounding into your elbows, your belly, your hips are grounded over your knees. Belly is melting towards the thighs. We breathe into the back of the body, and as you exhale, just start to squeeze the block with your hands. So as you squeeze that block, you should feel that now creating a contraction through the backs of your shoulder blades, which is going to allow you to melt your heart a little bit further down. Keeping the belly hugging into the spine. Maybe a little gentle arch of the spine as we start to draw the sit bones back up towards the sky. Let's take one more nice deep breath here. Keep squeezing palms, and then as you exhale, bring the hands down, and then slide yourself forwards, come back up into Sphinx. Inhale, lengthening the heart forwards. Exhale, widen the shoulders, sliding the shoulders back down away from the ears. Grounding those elbows back into the mat, drawing the elbows back towards the hips, and then rolling that TBA band back. Keep the pelvic floor active, belly stays hugging into the spine. Inhale here. As we exhale, we're going to look over our right shoulder and looking back towards the heel behind us. So you're feeling a squeeze through the kidneys and adrenals on the side of the body, but we're not feeling any crunching through the bones in the lower back. Inhale to center, exhale to the second side. Inhale back to center. You can stay in Sphinx, otherwise if you want a little bit more, maybe come up into seal. So make sure there's no pinching through the bones in the lower back. Chest and back stay really nice and active. Inhale, lengthening. As we exhale, we're looking back over that right shoulder. Inhale back. Exhale to the second side. And then inhale back. One more on each side. Exhaling cross. Inhale and then exhale to the second side. Come back to center. Exhale, bring the chest down. Move your blocks out of the way. And then bring your hands back underneath the shoulders. Inhale as we exhale, roll yourself back into down dog or child's pose and stretching out across the back here. Still keep that belly button drawing in towards the spine. Keep pushing the weight of the hips back towards the wall behind you. Widening out across the hips. Maybe squaring the hips as we start to roll down through the outer hip, rolling up through the inner thigh. And keep pushing all the way back. All right, let's take a couple more nice deep breaths here. Maybe walking the legs out. And then let's come forwards back into tabletop. From here, restacking wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. I'm going to take the right foot back, take the left hand forwards. Reaching out into your pointer, so extending out from the toes or the heel, or the balls of your feet, all the way out through to your fingertips. Lengthening like we're trying to touch the wall behind and in front of us. And then notice how your body wants to twist. So you're drawing that shoulder back into the socket, hip back into the socket. Engage your core now so that our torso stays parallel and square to the floor. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to round. So we're going to lift up through the belly, bring your chin to the throat, elbow to the outside of the knee. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale. We're coming out to 90 degrees, coming into a cactus frog. So you're bringing your knee out in line with your hip, elbow out in line with the shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze the glutes and tap your back foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, and then elbow to knee, rounding. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to 90. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze the glutes, tap the back foot. One more here. So we're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale and round. And keep lifting through the core. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to 90. And then inhale, lengthen. This time we're going to hold that back foot. And then from here, if you can't reach it, come onto the mat and then come onto your belly. Otherwise, do the same side. So you can come onto your belly and come opposite hand and foot, or you can do same hand and foot. Okay, so find your option here. And then once you've got the foot, we're going to inhale. As you exhale, you're going to squeeze the glutes and lift the back knee. Push your foot into the hand, which is going to help to draw the chest up. If it feels okay, draw your eye gaze to the sky. Inhale to the front of the body. As you exhale, keep squeezing and lifting. One more breath. Let's release. Take the hand out. Bring the hand down. And then from here, draw your hips back. Maybe roll the tailbone under and just take a couple of breaths here in child's pose. Maybe just gently swaying the hips from side to side. Okay, when you're ready, roll back up. And then we're going to take that same foot, that right leg, bring it out to the side in your, just the leg, and then bring your foot out to the side. We're going to come into a little bit of hip flossing now. Okay, so your toes are in line with your knee. And then we're going to bend into that right knee. Bring your hands in a little bit. And we're just going to gently circle the hips a few times. So make sure that that right knee is not locked. We're bending into the knee as we circle, as we trace our circles with the hips. Make sure you are keeping the weight in your core, so we are not collapsing into the hips, circling back the other way. And then from here, bring your other knee out slightly and then start to draw your hips back and forth as we come into a modified child's pose. As we draw that bum, as we draw our bum closer back towards our heel. And then from here, bring the bum onto the heel and then just relax your forehead. So you can be a little bit higher up. And we're just feeling a nice stretch out through the inside of that right leg. Okay, when you're ready, bring yourself back up, walk the hands back in, take that leg back. And then from here, we're going to roll the knee to the nose, look in between the hands, step your foot forwards. If you need to, grab your blocks to support you. And then keeping the weight in the core, making sure that that knee and ankle are stacked. We just gently draw the hips back and forth a few times here. Make sure that the weight is on the back kneecap, not the knee joint. And then from here, keeping the belly on the thigh, draw your hips a little bit further back to stack over your back knee. And then just relaxing the head. So you can be on your blocks. Keep a little bend in the knee if it feels quite tight and just breathing into it. Okay, one more breath here. When you're ready, we're going to come back up. So let's come into a low lunge. Inhale, take the arms up. Lifting up through the fingertips. If it feels good, come into a little back bend, bringing the hands into prayer or into a little pointer. Keep lifting the ribs as you inhale. Exhale. Rolling the tailbone under and opening through the sides, opening through the heart. Exhale, bring the hands back down. Option one, bring your left hand onto your block, or you can bring it onto the mat. And then either keep that back knee on the floor or lift that back knee. Lifting out of the hips, take your right hand to the sky. Lengthening up through the fingertips as we inhale. Exhale, belly hugging into the spine as we deepen into our twist. Now let's take that right hand forwards, widen the hip crease. Exhale, bring it down. Keep the hips level as we take the other hand up. Keep drawing your knees in towards the midline of the body. Winding the ribs open, taking that hand forwards. Inhale. Exhale, bring that hand down. Option to come back onto the back knee or come into high lunge. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, opening a big chi ball above your head. Inhale here as we exhale, we're going to twist towards the right and then rolling the ball back. Inhale here, breathing into that right side of the waist. And then as you exhale, keep rolling the tailbone under, maybe arching a little bit more. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the second side. Keep pushing into your big toe pad of the front foot and then rolling that ball back. So make sure that front knee doesn't wobble inwards. Inhale back to center. Okay, from here, option to stay there or come into your high lunge. Let's do 2 more on each side. So we exhale, twisting towards the right, rolling your ball back. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the second side. Keep squeezing the glutes, keeping the hips square to the front. 1 more on each side. Inhale, and last one. Lifting that back heel. Inhale back up. Option for high lunge here. Lifting out of hips. And then inhale back. Exhale, come into your warrior two. Align your feet. So your front foot is in line with the arch of the back. Lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders. Beautiful long line of energy from fingertip to fingertip. Opening up across the chest. And then soften the shoulders, ground into your legs. From here, let's soften the arms, holding a big ball. And then we're going to do 3 taichi arm warriors. So as you inhale, rolling your ball back, feel that opening up through the side body on that right side. As you exhale, using the core as we roll our ball forwards. Feeling the opening up through those top ribs. So feel that energy in your hands, moving like we're moving underwater. Inhaling back as we exhale. We start to roll the ball forwards as we twist as well. We feel that opening up through the top side of the chest, turning the eye gaze upwards. Last one here. And then exhale it forwards. All right, let's inhale back up. Hold your ball. Bring your feet in. Bring your heels in. Okay, so sit back into your heels a little bit and see if you can bring your hips in line with your knees. Keep squeezing your glutes and keep activating your outer thighs. Okay, from here, we're holding that ball, we're taking it up. As we exhale, we're going to come down, make a little circle in the middle, and then we inhale up. Using the core to move you, spinning at the bottom. And this one here. At the top, we're going to come back the other way. So as you exhale, you're bringing your ball back down, spinning in the middle, inhaling up. And last one. Okay, hold your ball, bring it down. And then from here, let's release the hands. Come back into your warrior two. The front of the mat, take both hands. Exhale, bring the hands onto either side of that front foot. Step your back foot in. Inhale to halfway. Exhale, come into your forward fold with your feet hip width apart. Keep the knees slightly bent and then just gently releasing here. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. And when you're ready, bend the knees, roll yourself up through the spine. Take the arms along the sides. Inhale, exhale back to center. So you can have your hands in prayer at the heart, or you can bring your hands onto your lower tandian, 3 fingers below the belly button. Keeping the spine tall, shoulders are relaxed away from the ears, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth behind the 2 front teeth. So ladies, bring your left hand over the right. Gentlemen can bring the right over the left. You can have your hands in prayer at the heart, whatever feels comfortable. Just take a couple of nice deep grounding breaths here. Maybe keeping the eyes lightly closed or the eye gaze soft. And keeping the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Keep pushing into your big toe pads to ground. Okay, when you're ready, blink the eyes open, releasing the hands. Inhale, take the arms up, holding onto your left wrist with your right hand, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lengthen as we exhale, reaching across. Opening up through the side, belly hugs in. Inhale, back up, shoulders away from the ears. Swapping sides, inhale, and then exhale, reaching across. Opening up through that top shoulder, belly hugs in. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bend the knees, widen the hips, forward fold. Inhale to your halfway, so bend the knees as much as you need to. Lengthening out through the spine, widening hips and collarbones. Exhaling down. Inhale, leading with the heart for your back bend. Taking the arms up, maybe coming into modified or full version. So you can maybe interlace your fingers or bring your hands onto your lower back to support. Lifting the ribs as you inhale, exhale, rolling the shoulders back down. Squeezing the backs of your shoulder blades. Keep rolling the tops of your thighs in towards each other. Elbow points towards the ground. Pelvic floor stays active and tibia is rolling back. Breathing into the front of the body. The belly in. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bend the knees, widen the hips. Forward fold. Inhale to halfway, releasing the lower back. Exhale, hands come behind. Inhale, rolling up into your imaginary chair. And then from here, exhale, bring the hands down and step or float yourself back into plank. Come through your flow here. Opening the heart. And then exhale, roll yourself back into down dog or child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here, walking out through the legs. Stretching out across the back. Spread the fingers nice and wide into the mat. Maybe grip into the earth. Feel like you're sucking the energy from the earth up through the palms of the hands, up through the arms, up through your back. As you exhale, send that breath and energy back down through the backs of your legs. Okay, from here, let's come forwards, coming back into tabletop. Restack your wrists and shoulders. From here, we're taking the left leg and your right hand, extending out into your pointer. Start to engage the core, squaring the hips and the shoulders, lengthening as you inhale, drawing the lower ribs back towards the hips. As we exhale, we're going to round now, bringing the elbow to the outside of the knee, lifting through the belly, chin to throat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to your 90 degrees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze the glutes, tap the back foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, 90. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze and tap. Last one here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to 90. This time we're going to inhale, lengthen. Reach around. Hold the foot now. And come onto your belly if you need to. Okay, from here, we're going to inhale as you exhale. You squeeze the glutes, push the back, lift that back knee, push your foot into the hand. And then feeling that squeeze through the kidneys and adrenals on that right side. Inhale as you exhale, squeeze and lift a little bit harder. Last one. And then release. Take the hand out, foot out, bring the hand back down, and come back into child's pose. So you can either relax the head, or you can bring your elbows in, stacking one fist on top of the other, and resting the forehead onto the fists. If you're feeling a lot of blood and energy moving through the body, sometimes this restorative option with the fist stacked might feel nicer, so that the head and heart is at the same height. And just breathing into the body. And then when you feel your breath and energy has returned to normal, stretch out in a child's pose, maybe sway the hips from side to side. And then when you're ready, come back into tabletop. Okay, let's take that left foot back out. From here, we bring it out to 90, extend the foot out, bring the toes down. Bending into that knee, we gently start to circle the hips now. And then back the other way. And then from here, bringing the other knee out, gently start to draw the hips back and forth a few times. As we bring the bum closer back towards the heel. And then when you're ready, come into your child's pose variation. Just breathing into it. So sometimes you can come a little bit further up. This is also another option, or you can bring your bum all the way back. So sometimes you might look like this, otherwise it might look like this, whatever's more comfortable. Take a couple more nice deep breaths here, wherever you're feeling the stretch. Okay, when you're ready, let's come back up. Take that leg back out. And then bring your knee to the nose. Step your foot in between the hands. Grab your blocks if you need to. I'm going to the other side. And then from here, keeping the belly on the thighs, we just gently draw the hips back and forth. Again, lifting out of the hips, lifting out of the pelvis, keeping the weight in your core. And then you can continue with that gentle swaying motion. Otherwise, maybe bring the bum back over to stack over the back knee, and then melting down. Just taking some nice deep breaths here, maybe squaring the hips a little bit. Okay, when you're ready, come forwards. Shifting the weight onto the kneecap. Let's inhale up into our low lunge. Lifting up through the fingertips. So we're just opening up through all the gallbladder meridians on the side of the body. If it feels good, maybe squeezing the glutes, lifting out of the ribs, and maybe come into a little back bend here. Make sure there's no pinching in your lower back. Exhale, bring the hands down. From here, right hand comes down. Option to keep that back knee on the floor or lifting that back knee. Keep lifting out of that front hip. Take the left hand to the sky. As you inhale, as you exhale, hug the belly in towards the spine. As you gently twist towards the side, or left side, sorry. Inhale, take that arm forwards. Exhale, widen the hips, bring that hand down. Other side, inhaling, coming up. As you exhale, keep drawing the knees in towards the midline to keep the hips level. Lifting that back heel. Twisting from the ribs. Reach that hand forwards. Exhale, bring it down. Come back down onto your back knee. Inhale, back up. Exhale, opening up through the arms. Okay, so let's do the front one in our low lunge position. Inhale, as you exhale, hug the belly in, squeeze the glutes, twisting to your left, and then rolling that ball back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the other side. Keep the hips square to the front, and then rolling the ball back. Inhaling here as you exhale, keep rolling the tailbone under. Come back to center, so stay on your back knee if you like, otherwise coming into high lunge. With that back heel lifted, keep squeezing the glutes, belly hugs into the spine. Inhale back, exhale to the right, rolling it back. And then one more on each side. Keep that front quad really active so that knee doesn't wobble in or out. And last one here. Inhale back up, come into high lunge. If you're on your knee, coming up, option for another little back bend here if it feels good. Lifting that back heel, suck that back knee to the thigh, lifting out of the ribs. Inhale back up, exhale, open yourself into warrior two and restack the legs. So we're stretching the earth apart with our feet, grounding into the earth. Lengthening the spine, relaxing the shoulders. Beautiful long line of energy from fingertip to fingertip. If you can, straighten the wrists as well, so all the energy flows. And then when you're ready, soften the elbow, soften the shoulders, soften the elbows, turn the palms to face up. So start to feel that energy in the palms of your hands. And then let's do 3 warrior moves here. As we inhale, we roll the ball back. That backhand comes forward, so we're holding the ball. Just a little bit different variation. As you exhale, feel that energy in the hands. Space underneath the armpits. Elbows are soft, fingers are soft. Inhaling it back. So when we move with our taichi arms, it's almost like we're moving underwater, really nice and smooth and flowing. Exhaling forwards. And then one more on each side. Inhaling back. And then exhaling forwards. Let's inhale back up. Holding our ball, bring the feet in, bring the heels in. Coming back into your stance or goddess pose. So we want to try to get the bum lower down if we can, in line with the knees. And then from here, let's take our ball up. Holding that ball, and then as we exhale, we're going to bring it down. Turn it in the middle. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Turn it in the middle. Inhaling up. One more here. And using the core to move you. Round it into the legs. Come back the other way. Down. Turning it. Coming up. And last one. Okay. Take your ball. And then from here, down, bring it back out to your warrior. And back up into high lunge. Bring your hands forwards, step your foot in, and come to the front of your mat on the second side. Hang out in ragdoll. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. When you're ready, roll yourself back up through the spine. Hands come along the sides. Exhale back to center. Lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders. Hands can either be in prayer at the heart or stacked on top of your lower tandian. Spine is long, shoulders are relaxed, and tip of the tongue resting on the roof of the mouth behind the two front teeth so that your energy circuits are connected. Okay, when your breath and energy feels like it's returned to normal, let's just do one more yoga style. So we're going to take hold of your right hand, right wrist with the left hand, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale as you exhale, reaching across. Your side opener, belly hugs in. Inhale back up, exhale shoulders down. Swapping sides. Inhale back up, exhale bend the knees, widen the hips, forward fold. Inhale to halfway. Exhale down. Inhale, leading with the heart of your back bend, modified or full. So you can keep the hands together or bring them behind, whatever feels good. Lifting out of the hips, rolling the tailbone under, hips forward, shoulders back. Keep the tops of your thighs rolling in towards the front of the body. No pinching through the bones in the lower back. Inhale back up. Exhale, bend the knees, widen the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands behind. Inhale, roll up into your imaginary chair. Slide the shoulders down, sink into the legs. Okay, from here, bring the hands forward, float back into, step or float into plank. Come through your flow. And then exhale back into child's pose or down dog. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Stretching out across the back and walking out through the legs. Okay, we're just going to do a very quick from here, three-legged cat or three-legged dog, and then we're going to come into our sun cells to play with this morning. So if down dog is comfortable, stay in down dog. Otherwise, come back into tabletop, and we'll just go into our three-legged, and then we'll all come into the front of the mat. So let's take the left leg, inhaling that foot back. Open the hip, bending that knee, squaring the shoulders, trace a circle with the knee, belly hugs into the spine, come forwards, tapping the same side, elbow or armpit. Inhale, extending that foot back. Open the hip, bending the knee, square the shoulders, trace a circle, belly hugs in, knee comes to opposite elbow. Okay, hover it here. Option one, if you're in tabletop, you bring your knee down, you bring your back knee up and come into wild thing. If you're in three-legged dog, you take your foot out, come into fallen star. Everyone's back heel comes down, lifting out of the hip, lift out of the shoulder. Take the right hand to the sky, stretch it out. Maybe start to open the heart towards the sky. Exhale, bring that hand down. Inhale, take the foot back. Open the hip, bend the knee, square the shoulders. Trace a circle, roll forward, knee to nose or forehead. Look in between your hands. Step your foot forward, ground your back heel. Inhale, open into your warrior two, and then reach it back into sun warrior. Exhale, just one extended angle coming forwards. Inhale, back up. Come to the front of your mat, take your arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to your lower belly or three fingers below the belly button. Take a couple of breaths here. Keeping the spine long, shoulders relaxed, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Stacking the palms of the hands over the energy center, three fingers below your belly button. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to release the hands. Take the hands up. You're going to hold onto your right wrist with your left hand. Lengthen up through the spine, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lengthen. As we exhale, we're going to start to reach across towards our right, opening up through that left side of the right side of the body. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, push the hips a little bit further across. Okay. Now from here, we're going to start to round the spine as we start to bring the hands down, releasing the hands. So if you can bend the knees and ground your hands into the mat, and then just taking 3 breaths here as we come into our forward fold. Keep the belly hugging into the spine. From here, we're going to take hold of your right wrist with your left hand. You're going to open your body to the side like we did before. And I'm going to inhale, come up. When you are standing in between 2 planes of glass halfway, you're going to hang out here for 3 breaths. Inhale, lengthening. As we exhale, we push the hips across. Keep opening that top shoulder. And then hug the belly in. Inhale, back up to standing. Release your hands behind you. Take your hands, interlace your fingers. Lifting up through the insides of your legs, tops of the thighs rolling in towards each other, reaching up through the back of your heart, squeezing through the backs of your shoulder blades. Okay, when you're ready, release your spine back to center. Come back up, take hold of your wrist. Inhale, exhale, back to that right side. Okay, now widening across the hips, we come down. Release the hands. So you can touch the earth for a moment as you ground into the earth. And then we take hold of the right wrist. We open to the side. Use your core to bring you up. And then when you are sideways in between 2 planes of glass, we come a little bit deeper. And then we inhale back to center. Lengthening up. Bring the hands behind us. Maybe bring your hands onto your hips or onto your lower back. Inhale, lengthen as you exhale, squeezing the backs of your shoulder blades. Get that nice opening through the upper back. Belly hugs in. Inhale, back up. Take the hands back up. And coming back around. And then this one's a bit more flowing. So widen the hips, bring the hands down. Swapping the hands around. Inhale, back up. When you're halfway, so when you're in between 2 planes of glass, reach to the side. Inhale, back up, an option to come into a full one. Maybe taking the arms and then come into a little back bend. All right, come back to center. From here, relax the shoulders. We're going to come back the other side. So we're going to hold on to the wrist. Start with the flowing one. As we exhale, you're reaching towards the left. And then you widen out across your hips. You bring your hands down. You touch the earth for a moment, come back around the other way. As you inhale, coming up. And then when we are in the middle, we reach across a little bit more. We're opening that top part of the chest. Inhale, back up. Let's come into our full one here. Option. Inhale, back to center, shoulders away from the ears. Taking hold of your right wrist. Exhale to the side. Widening through the hips, coming back down. Holding onto the wrist as you inhale yourself up. So we're getting a really nice opening through the side body and across the back, front. And belly hugs in. Inhale back up. This time you can take that and hands around. Coming into a supported version. Lifting the ribs as you inhale. Exhale, squeezing the backs of your shoulder blades. Belly hugs in. Inhale back up, standing in between 2 planes of glass. Last one here. Exhale, reaching to the left. Inhale as you exhale, widening the hips, coming back down. Take a couple of breaths here. And then holding onto your left wrist as we come back up. All right, let's inhale back up. And then this one, take the hands around, interlace your fingers. So in a modified version, lifting the back of the heart, roll the tops of your thighs in towards each other and squeezing. So you might feel that as we come into these different variations of our back bending, you can feel it in different parts of your back. Inhale, back up. Okay, from here, exhale, releasing the hands, coming forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bring the hands behind. Inhale, rolling up into chair. Slide the shoulders down, sink into the legs. Okay, bring the hands forwards, ground the hands, step or float back into plank, come through your flow. Opening the heart, exhale back into down dog. And take a couple of nice deep breaths in our down dog, just stretching out across the back. And walking the legs. All right, let's do the second side. So come into tabletop if you need to, taking the right leg this time and then extending that right foot back. So starting with our square hip. Now we open the hip, bending that knee, square the shoulders, trace a circle, belly hugs in, knee comes forward, same side, elbow or armpit. Inhale, extending that foot back. Open the hip, bending that knee, squaring the shoulders, trace a circle, belly hugs in, knee comes to the opposite elbow or armpit. Fall and star a wild thing. Bring the knee down or bring the foot out. Back knee lifts, back heel comes down, lifting out of the hip, lift out of the shoulder. Opening that hand up to the sky. Bring your back heel down, everyone. Diane, bring your back heel down. And open the heart to the sky. Wrap that bottom shoulder underneath. Exhale, hand comes back down. Inhale, foot goes back. Open the hip, bend the knee, square the shoulders, trace a circle, bring the knee forward to the nose or the forehead. Look in between your hands. Step your foot forwards, bring your back knee down. Inhale, open yourself up into sun warrior with taichi arms. Exhale, roll your ball forwards. Inhale, come back up, hold your ball. Take it up into a high lunge. And then step yourself forwards. Bring your hands back into your lower tandian. Take a few breaths here. Lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders, feet are hip width, tip of the tongue resting on the roof of the mouth behind the two front teeth. You gently blink the eyes open, release the hands, take the arms up, taking hold of your right wrist. With your left hand, lengthen up, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lengthen as you exhale, reaching across towards the left, opening up through that top shoulder. 3 breaths here. As you inhale, lengthening the spine. As you exhale, maybe push the hips a little bit further across. Okay, when you're ready, widen the hips, belly hugs in. Bring the hands down. Maybe you can bend the knees, ground your hands into the mat. Relax the back of your neck. And then taking hold of your left wrist this time. Bending the knees, opening our body to the side. So as you come up, you should feel this really nice opening through the side. Lengthen up in the middle when you're standing in between 2 planes of glass. And as you exhale, 3 breaths to deepen here. Opening that top shoulder, belly hugs in. Inhale, back up. Take the hands around, coming into the bound hands one to start. Lifting up through the insides of your legs, roll the tops of your thighs in towards each other. Lifting through the back of your heart, squeezing the backs of your shoulder blades. You're reaching the hands back down towards the mat as you keep reaching the back of the heart up towards the sky. Belly hugs in, inhale back up. So bring your body back into the 2 planes of glass first. Take the hands back up and then exhaling to the side. Widen the hips, coming down. Take hold of the other wrist and then inhale, come back up to the other side. And then belly hugs in, inhale back up, take the arms around, coming into our camel variation back bend now. So lifting the back of the heart, squeeze the backs of your shoulders, rolling the tops of your thighs in towards each other. And then hug the belly in, coming back up. Come back into it in between 2 planes of glass, feeling first. And then lengthen up, reaching across. And then widen the hips, coming down. And through center, swap the wrists. Inhale it back up. And then at the top this time, maybe you can take your hands into prayer. Lift up through the insides of your legs as you inhale, exhale. Coming into your back bend. Inhale back to center, shoulders away from the ears. Let's come back the other side. So you're going to take hold of your right wrist. So your left wrist, shoulders away from the ears. Exhaling, reaching towards your right this time. As we come through this little sequence, maybe each time we can go a little bit deeper, widen the hip crease. Exhale, enjoy that transition down. And then, like we did before when we're in our horse stance or warrior, we want to start to feel that nice transition as we open. Back up halfway. So exhale, maybe deepening. Inhale back up. Shoulders away from the ears. And going for our... No, I'm sorry, I got confused. We're coming back. This is the first time we're coming back, so we're coming back the first full one. Inhaling back up. Holding the wrist, coming through the side. And then flowing down, keep the hips wide, come to the center. And then bringing up. Inhale back up. Take the arms around. Come into your camel variation one. Lifting the back of the heart, squeezing the elbows back behind you. You're lifting the throat up towards the chin up towards the sky. Belly hugs in. Inhale back up. Shoulders relaxed. And last one here. And then coming around. And come back to center. Release the hands. Interlace your fingers. Finish your circle. And then we finish off squeezing the backs of your shoulder blades. Clasping the hands. Keep squeezing and contracting in between the shoulder blades so you get a bit more opening through the heart. As we start to squeeze and contract in between the shoulder blades as well, you start to draw blood and energy to those areas, especially if they're very tight from sitting long periods of time during the day, during the week. All right, when you're ready, release. And just roll the shoulders one way, other way. Take the arms, inhaling up. Exhale, bend the knees, widen the hips, forward fold. Inhale to our halfway. Take the hands behind. Inhale, roll into your chair. Okay, from here, we're just gently going to bend the knees a little bit more. Bring your bum as low as you can towards towards the ground, sorry. Bring your hands out and then roll your weight back. Transition yourself into a boat position. Okay, from our high boat position, we start to round the back and we roll ourselves down. Bring your feet to about a little bit wider out than hip width to the outer edges of the mat. And then roll yourself into Shavasana. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here first. Make any adjustments that you need to. If you need, sometimes it might feel nice just to hug the knees into the chest. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side. Maybe circling the knees. Maybe a twist if you need to. We didn't do any deep twisting, but we did our cue ball twist. So maybe we just want to hug the knee in. Maybe pop the hips across and hug the belly in as you draw the knee across the body. Or a happy baby, or any kind of gentle adjustments that feel good for your body this morning. If you need, grab a jumper or something over your eyes or a blanket. And when you're ready, and you made any final little adjustments, just extend your legs out, give them a little shake out, maybe a little shimmy out through the body, and then relaxing back in your position of stillness and surrender. So feet just a little bit wider than hip width, allowing the feet to melt up to the side so your hips can relax. If you need more space for your lower back, you can maybe just tuck your tailbone under, relax it back down, lengthening the spine. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Back of the neck is long and tip of the tongue resting on the roof of the mouth behind the two front teeth. Eyes are lightly closed, lips slightly touching. Just coming back into some full deep body breaths. Body nice and relaxed. Keeping the breath deep and flowing. Observing the breath, observing the energy. And just allowing everything to soften. Here, if you're watching this as a replay video, feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. If you're with me in the live class, if you're ready to come out, maybe just very slowly starting to bring some movement back in. Wriggling fingers and toes, just do whatever feels good. It might feel nice to stretch out, maybe a little side stretch from side to side, or maybe hugging the knees in, or just giving yourself a hug. Maybe rolling into a little ball, keeping shoulders away from the ears. And just doing whatever feels good. It might feel nice to circle the knees a few times. One way, other way, and then opposite directions, another way. Maybe a gentle twist or a deep twist, hugging the belly into the spine as we bring our knees from one side to the other. And then when you're ready, just gently bring your hand underneath your head. Create a pillow for your neck, rolling onto your preferred side in a nice, nourishing fetal position. From here, you can keep the eyes closed or the eye gaze soft, keeping the body really nice and relaxed. So as we come out from our fetal position, we want to be reborn gently into the world. So we straighten the top leg, push into the top hand, and slowly support yourself to come into a comfortable seated position. And then from here, just making sure your sit bones are even. Lengthening up through the spine. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, relax the shoulders away from the ears into their sockets. Hands wherever's comfortable, and your knees are in your lap. Keeping the spine tall, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and shoulders relaxed. Let's take a couple of nice, deep grounding breaths here into the body. And check in, allowing the breath and energy to return to normal. Check in with how you're feeling. Hopefully feeling a little bit more open, a little bit more relaxed and calmer than when we first began. When your breath and energy feels like it's returned to normal, let's inhale, bring the hands into prayer at the heart to close. And breathing into the heart center, giving thanks for our practice. And sealing our practice here. When you're ready, leave the eyes open, bowing our heads. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful week. If you guys have questions or feedback, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy your day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.